Okay, before we get this video started, I just want to point something out, that we are not talking one, but two spoilers ahead for two different shows, but yet both shows had pretty much the exact same ending. The fans feeling like they got screwed over. So with that being said, you've been warned. Welcome to YouTube Squared Circle Cafe. I am your hostess Daria. With me as always, Beth. On the road, as we promised we would have some of these episodes being on the road as well. And last night was Money in the Bank. Well, let's just jump ahead to the end of the show, which was the men's ladder match. Now, earlier in the broadcast, Sami Zayn was worried that Braun Strowman was going to take him out. We find later Sami Zayn strung up by his toenails in the back. Braun was in the building, but yet claims he had nothing to do with what happened to Sami. So that left 7 guys in our Money in the Bank ladder match. And just when it looked like Ali was ready to accomplish his dreams and become the newest Mr. Money in the Bank, Beth?
A dinosaur that looks like he should sell you life insurance came out.
That's right. Brock Lesnar, having disappeared after WrestleMania, appeared, knocked Ali off the ladder, and got the briefcase. We repeat that because it bears repeating. Brock Lesnar climbed the ladder, knocked Ali off, and grabbed the briefcase. Which means that Brock Lesnar is the Money in the Bank contract winner. And as we all know, that means he can challenge any champion for the title. Now my question is, since Brock Lesnar has a tendency of disappearing every now and then, is he going to be disappearing with the contract?
One can only hope.
But then if he does cash it in,
it'll be the way Money in the Bank is supposed to be, completely unexpected.
Right. Well, my question is, which championship is he going to go after? Is he going to go back after Seth and get back at him for what happened at WrestleMania? Or is he going to go after Kofi?
He's going to say, fuck it all and take the new belt.
Oh yeah, that new title that WWE is supposed to be premiering on Raw. How can you debut a new title when you can't even keep track of half the titles you have going on right now? Seriously. I mean...
Okay, last night, Money in the Bank. Where were the Raw Tag Team Championships? Where were the Women's Tag Team Championships? Oh, that's right. We saw the women, we saw Peyton and Billy standing in the back with their titles, watching the freaking show in the back. Where the hell are Zack Ryder and freaking Kurt Hawkins, man?
Exactly. And now you're going to introduce a new title on Raw? What is that supposed to be? Unless you give it to Brock Lesnar and trade it in for the Money in the Bank briefcase so that way Brock can disappear with it for a while, maybe then I can handle it.
I've actually seen a meme that, about, with the whole thing at the bottom about how Mick Foley is debuting the new title tonight on Raw tonight, and they're like, and basically they're saying it's going to be given to Brock because it's going to be the, I'm a little crybaby who has to have a belt all the time, so they're giving me this to make me happy.
Pretty much.
Granted, they use stronger language than that, but, you know, if there's the possibility of us getting monetized, I don't want to get us demonetized.
True that. So, while WWE fans were getting screwed over, Game of Thrones fans were getting just as screwed over as well. Because apparently, they pretty much went through the same thing we went through. An entire season, 8 seasons of episodes, for one person who hardly did anything throughout the entire show to win the whole thing. Now, like I said, I'm not going to spoil it too much. But yeah, one character who hardly did anything was nominated to be the king of the 7 kingdoms. At least that's how I think it worked. So basically, Game of Thrones got their own version of Brock Lesnar showing up. And perfect timing. A garbage truck.
Game of Thrones. Hi fans, we've made you wait for 2 years for this final season. Now, we're going to do all this build-up only to let you down at the end. WWE, hold my beer and watch this.
Exactly. So who do you think got screwed over more? The WWE fans or the Game of Thrones fans? I think it's pretty much cut down the middle.
How about the people that are fans of both and ended up having to deal with both of that?
Oh God, yes, I feel so bad. I've only watched a couple of episodes of Game of Thrones. I think it's a brilliant show and everything. There were just some things I couldn't watch. But anyone, yes, who's both fans, who went to Money in the Bank last night and DVR'd Game of Thrones, to come home to watch that was just, ooh, or vice versa. Just, ooh. And this morning, yeah, Twitter was not happy.
Or, had Game of Thrones playing on their TV and had the pay-per-view playing on a laptop or another electronic device.
Yeah, I can just imagine. They gave who the throne? What's going to happen next? And then Brock Lesnar's music starts playing. It's like, no. I don't get it. It's like, why does WWE keep catering to this guy? I mean, it's just, I don't think I'll honestly understand it. I mean, I get that there are Brock Lesnar fans. More power to you if you are. It's just, there just comes a point where you can't keep catering to someone who just shows up for a paycheck. Especially since in that matchup, there were at least 5 guys who'd never been in a Money in the Bank ladder match before, 4 of which are hungry new up-and-coming stars, and you give it to a guy who disappears for a month and a half, and who's probably going to disappear again with this briefcase, and then when he does eventually cash it in to God only knows who, we'll probably take off with the belt again. I mean, is that really what you want? WWE, really? And what I'm afraid of, if news reports are true, Brock might be moved over to SmackDown, which means that's the title he'll be cashing in against.
Because rumor has it, Fox wants him and Rousey on their show.
Okay, Ronda, she showed up to work every week. That's fine. But we all know how Brock Lesnar works, so how the hell are they going to have him on a show every single week when he doesn't even like showing up on Raw every single week? I mean, how many zeros on the end of that check do you have to write in order to make sure he's there every week? You're not going to have you want your show to have Brock Lesnar? Fine, you do realize he has to be there every single week for ratings to be up, right? What are you going to do when he's not there? So, I don't get it. It's like last night's show was written by some people who were on tequila and a pound of blow.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Overall, and this is one of the reasons why I very rarely watch any in-between pay-per-views. I only watch the big 4. Which, of course, as you know, is Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. I very rarely watch the little in-between pay-per-views because I think they're always rushed. And even though some of them may have a good match here or two, some of them just aren't really worth watching. So, that's just me. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. But as someone who can understand how Game of Thrones fans must be feeling right about now, hey, you have our sympathy as WWE fans because we know what it's like to have a massive build-up only to get screwed over in the end. Right?
Pretty much.
Alright, well, that's our recap for mostly what happened last night. We don't want to get too much into Money in the Bank because I know that some people probably haven't watched it. So like I said earlier in the show, consider yourself warned. This was your spoiler. So if you watch this and you haven't seen either show yet, sorry. But we'll definitely have another episode again later on, later on this week. Tomorrow you can catch us at
SmackDown!
Yep, we'll be at SmackDown Live Tuesday night because it'll be in Providence at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. See the aftermath of what happened with Money in the Bank. And you can catch us probably helping out passing flyers for New England Fan Fest June 7th and 8th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Warwick, Rhode Island, where you can see special guests such as Bruce the Bar Beefcake, Honky Tonk Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and our guest, Sizzling Stan Styles, at our table. So be sure to check that out. Go to allaccessentertainment.com for all your information. Access spelled with 2 X's. You can go to our site, Facebook, on Facebook, Squared Circle Cafe. You can check us out on Twitter at SCC Podcast. Email us, squaredcirclecafe@gmail.com. Support the show. Buy a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/Squared Circle Cafe. Squared Circle Cafe, for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.